Championship is here. We got outright winners, head-to-head matchups, top finishing positions, DraftKings Darlings, and more. Welcome, everyone, to the final tournament of the PGA Tour season. I am your host, Andy Lang, being joined, as always, by my fellow golf betting expert, Jan. We're here, buddy. We made it down to the top 30. We're going to break down who we think is going to take it home. I think this field's wide open. I know Scottie's going to be the overwhelming favorite, but I think just about anybody could win. So I'm excited about this week. How have you been?
Yeah, all good. I'm slightly disappointed we haven't got Nico Echeverria this week, but I think last week pretty much summed up where we're at with golf. Wyndham was very good. You're surprised you're seeing good golf from Rory, and Scottie might be falling apart at exactly the wrong time. What a sport this is.
Well, okay, so we bet on Scheffler. He's awful. And then after the tournament, he's like, yeah, I had hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Unbelievable.
I had blisters all over my hands and feet. Were you going to let any of us know that?
Could have told us on Monday, buddy.
Yeah, brutal. So, all right, as always, we start off the show with Tales from the Courtesy Tent. I wasn't going to do one this week because we wanted to talk about the Tour Championship. And then Gary Woodland. Top spot. Look at that. Look at that shot
so much
tracker.
Worse looking it back, man.
And Jan was sitting on a Woodland outright.
I was.
Ticket. So,
nothing new from me there.
That is an all-time shot tracker. So shout out to Gary Woodland. We're going to be rooting from him this week, but that's got to be the worst shot of the week. All right, we move to East Lake. This course got renovations in 2024, I believe it was. Literally, they had all of the equipment off to the side. They got done playing and just moved all the equipment on. That's how long this was going to take. So, Jan, that's a pretty long course, 7,440 yards. Are playing it at a par 70. I think approach is going to be the name of the game. I don't understand why we play the Tour Championship in Atlanta, but it's not an awful course. It's pretty good. There are some challenges. You got to get creative around the green. I like the finishing stretch of holes. What's your take on East Lake?
Yeah, pretty similar handicap to last week for me, honestly. Like, firstly, off the tee, I'm going Bombers again. The length comes into play. There is the missed fairway penalty, but much like last week, if you're going to miss by 3 yards or 25 yards, it doesn't really matter. I just think you have to take guys who are going to send it because everyone's going to miss fairways at some point. And then, like you say, approach is the big player for me here. All about the irons this week. Got to go and give yourself some opportunities to score here, and everyone is going to be playing long and mid-iron shots. So I think that's got to be the separator at this track. Around the green comes into play a bit. Some of these greens have some weird runoff areas. I don't think around the green will actually move the leaderboard, but I think it'll be a decent weapon to have this week. And then putting, a few contoured greens out there. You'll have to make putts and to go and contend, but I don't see anyone having any real issues. I think steady putters is all you need. 78 bunkers and water on 5 holes. This isn't a hazardous course by any means. I think the rough penalty is the big stopper for these guys. I just think these guys have too much length to bring the hazards into play. So the ideal profile for me is distance off the tee and its approach play. I want similar guys to last week. Send it off the tee, attack with irons. I think in general you have to be more well-rounded than last week, but I'm looking forward to this one. Last one of the season. Let's make it count.
Yeah, I would also just add, this is just, you got to be aggressive. It's the last tournament. You're not going to see guys. I mean, it's got to be bad if you're going to have to lay up or not be aggressive going after the pins. I mean, you got to obviously pick your spots at some point, but if you're 50-50, whether or not to be aggressive or not, these guys are going to go for it. You have to. It's Tour Championship. So, all right, let's move on to total strokes gained. We'll take a look at the last 30 days. And yeah, we want to look at distance. Schauffele has just been fantastic driving the ball recently. I mean, not only is he long, he's one of the more accurate guys. We've got Ludwig, we've got Woodland, same with Schauffele. I mean, we're going to have to talk Gary Woodland. Great story, but also the guy's playing great, and he checks some of these boxes here. Looking at some of the approach numbers here, Patrick Cantlay, we're going to talk about him. Sam Burns has been good. Alex Smalley. Yep, Alex Smalley is going to be a DraftKings darling for sure. Scheffler's in there, Colin Morikawa. What jumps off the page to you?
Yeah, it's just distance off the tee and approach again. It's Rory, it's Xander, it's Woodland. Those are the big three I got from strokes gained. And amazingly, I can actually make a case for Ryan Fox. I think he'll like this assignment despite being the outsider of this field.
Yeah, rough numbers from Ryan Fox down there at the bottom.
He's got length, though. He's got length.
Yep. So, all right. So that's your total strokes gained. Throw it out the window or take what you want. So, all right. One and done. Last tournament of the year. So I lost some ground because a couple people had Wyndham Clark last week. So I need to get pretty cute and creative with my one and done. I need to pick somebody who I don't think anybody else is going to pick. I can't use a Scheffler because everyone's going to pick Scheffler. I'm going to pick Russell Henley. Russell Henley's finished second and fourth the last 2 years here. He finished 12th last week, so he's in pretty good form. He knows this course very, very well. He's not that long off the tee. It just hasn't seemed to affect him at this course. So I don't think anybody's going to use Russell Henley. His putting has been lights out, plus 1.39 the last 30 days. The only kind of negative for him is around the green. Doesn't matter that much around here. Hasn't the last couple years. So Russell Henley, I'm going to take as my one and done. Hopefully pull the upset. Who'd you settle on?
After having the worst year possible in one and done, I'm not playing for anything here. So as a thank you to one of my most profitable golfers this year, I will be taking Matthew Thomas Fitzpatrick. Now, clearly there is at least 5 guys I have ahead of Fitz, but I can still make the case for him going very well. I think he gets a better part of the approach part of this assignment. I think he gets to play his game on second shots, and if Fitz is attacking greens, of course he can contend. And if we're seeing quick greens, he has all the ball control in the world to absolutely clear the rest of the field on approach. He has been the second best player this year. If the Fitz from April or June turns up, you have to give him every chance. 9th and 15th on his 2 visits to this course, and he wasn't playing anywhere near as well as he is now. Yes, he lacks distance off the tee to truly have a massive go at this course, but he has the class and length with irons to go very well. This is the last time I get to talk about him, so I had to take the opportunity. Thank you for the year of 2026 and what you've done for this city, Matthew. The world is a better place because you're in it, brother.
It just it's only fitting that you would pick him. So all right, Matthew Fitzpatrick for the one and done. Players that can trip you up. There's only 30 players, so all I did was make some notes here to kind of just keep your eye on. Ludwig Aubert, he's finished 19th and 21st here in 2 appearances. For whatever you would think his game would fit really well at this course. It just hasn't translated here. Cameron Young's last 3 finishes are 37th, 39th, and 61st. His putting has absolutely tanked. Minus 0.76 strokes gained the last 30 days. That is dead last in this field. It is shocking what's happened to that putter. Only 2 golfers have finished top 4 here the last 2 years. That's Scottie Scheffler and Russell Henley. And only 5 golfers are negative strokes gained off the tee the last 30 days. Akshay Bhatia, Minwoo Lee, Robert McIntyre, Sam Burns, Matthew Fitzpatrick. So moving on. That's all right. That's all right. He can still win it for you, Jan. All right, we move on to top 10 or missed cut. This is a guy that wouldn't surprise us if he won the whole damn thing or if he finished last. Who you got?
Little shout out for Scottie here, obviously. If the blisters are still hanging around, he could easily no-show. But I'm going to go with your boy, Russell Henley. I think there's a lot to like about Russell here. Much like Matt Fitzpatrick, the long iron approach part of this assignment is there, and you might just need that to have a really good showing. But the total lack of length off the tee is a concern. He's one that doesn't get involved in the missed fairway penalty, which is a boost, but it might not even put him in a better position than those 40 yards ahead of him in the rough. I do think there's every chance that this just turns into a putting contest, and Henley has every chance of winning that. From the second shot onwards, Henley might be the best player in this field this week, but I still have no idea if it's enough. The style of play for Russell could go either way, so he's my miscut or top 10 this week.
I'm going with Colin Morikawa. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is he going to putt well this week? Is he not? He finished 4th last week and 52nd the week before. He finished 19th out of 30 last year, and then he won the thing 2 years ago. Like, what are we going to get from Colin Morikawa? Yeah. It's kind of the story of his career. at this point. Like, what are you going to get from him? He's just like the feast or famine guy. So I'm going to go with Collin Morikawa. There's really nothing you can take away from his stats. His putting hasn't been that good, but again, like he's going to be like 10th in the field, except he's either finishing top 5 or outside the top 50. You have no clue what you're going to get from Morikawa. So, all right, head-to-head matchups. Did you find a head-to-head you like?
I did indeed. Obviously, I really struggled with this, but I just think you have to find a total fade, and I think I found one. I'm going to take Ryan Gerrard over Rob McIntyre. So I'll start with the fade of Bob Mac here. The withdrawal at the FedEx is obviously a concern. He said he was feeling a stabbing pain when he was bending over and putting. Now, if that comes back, this is a free win. But even on the golf side of things, the irons haven't looked good. The putter hasn't looked good. He lacks length off the tee in this matchup anyway, and that puts him behind from the start. I think he was a bit flattered by his 7th place last week. Not sure he actually played that well, honestly. I think his putting really carries him at a lot of these events, and I don't really think it's sustainable. And then on the Gerrard side, he's very consistent and has been all year. I think there's a lot to like about Gerrard for next year because he's only 27 and he just keeps getting better, but he's already so well-rounded. He's long and accurate off the tee. His irons and wedges are very solid. He has a bit of an around-the-green game and he can putt. I really think the well-roundedness of Gerrard puts him in really good stead this week. Right now, Gerrard has the advantage in putting around the green, distance and accuracy off the tee, and the approach play is about even. I think name value is coming into play here, and Gerrard is the clear side in this one.
I did the same approach. I was like, who do I want to fade this week? And I already mentioned Cameron Young. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if there's an injury or something. But, I'm just going to trust Tommy Fleetwood to try and defend the title, Tommy. Like, you had a terrible performance last week. I kind of throw it out the window because it's all about this week for him. So Tommy Fleetwood minus 115 over Cameron Young. Like I said, last 30 days, he's dead last in the field in putting, which is just really, really bizarre. You look at his finishes and they just truly make absolutely no sense. Like 37, 30, 39, 61st. And then before that, 8th, 2nd. Okay. And then before that, 47th, 43rd, 46th. Like, what's going on with this guy? So Tommy Fleetwood, a slew of top 15 finishes. He finished 7th 2 weeks ago. When he's on, he can be one of the best. And I just think you're going to see the best of Tommy Fleetwood, knowing that he can try and defend the title this week. So Tommy Fleetwood over Cameron Young's my head-to-head. Top finishers. It's kind of a tough one because there's only 30 in the field. Did you come up with one you liked?
I came up with 2. So my first one, Rory top 10, minus 160. It's no secret that Rory likes this place. He gets to use all his length and just overpower this course on every hole. I think he's peaking at the right time for this one too. That showing last week was really good and still felt like a bit of a warm-up for this week. The most encouraging thing about Rory last week was his irons and his putter just looked fantastic. If he brings both of those elements to this week, he wins this event. He now has 9 top 10s in his 12 visits here with 3 outright wins. So between the course fit and last week's complete showing, I think you're going to get Rory at his best this week. And if they're giving us the best player of this generation to play his game at a bettable price, it has to be taken. Rory top 10 is the best bet on the board for me this week.
I will go with a guy that would just drive everybody nuts if this guy won. But I get a guy that I can play at minus 114 for top 10. He finished runner-up last week. He finished runner-up here last year, and that is Mr. Patrick Cantlay, Mr. Slow Play, Mr. Boring, Mr. Khakis that don't really fit himself. This would just be so PGA Tour. Patrick Cantlay comes out of nowhere to win, but he can do it. Last 30 days, this guy is second in total strokes gained. He's only behind Scottie Scheffler. He plays well here. He's not that long off the tee. It hasn't really affected him. His approach, plus 1.88 last 30 days. That is number 1 in the field in approach by a mile. So you give me a guy that's going to be hitting greens, a guy that finished runner-up here last year. Give me top 10 on Patrick Cantlay, including ties on minus 114. What's your second one?
My second one is Sam Burns, top 10, plus 100. I think there's a lot to like about Sam Burns this week. Much like Rory, he gets to use his length off the tee to set up really manageable second shots. And I actually think he's had some very accurate showings off the tee in recent weeks, which is just such a huge boost and a surprise for him. I just think he'll be really happy about where his game's at right now. And I love the way he stepped up in class this year. Third at the FedEx, third at the Open, second at the US Open, fourth at the Memorial, seventh at the Masters. When there is an elite field, Sam Burns just seems to find a way to contend. And I think this is a week where he finds his extra gears. He's gone 7th, 12th, 9th in his last 3 visits here. So an average week from him probably sees him in the top 10. Sam Burns gets to use his best tools this week, and I think we're getting some decent value on him here.
Yeah, have to agree with those. You're right. The Rory top 10 is good. I was going to ask you, you feel better about Rory's week last week or Wyndham Clark's week last week? What was more important? You feel better about Rory?
Yeah, I think, like I say, I think Rory mostly used that as a prep week for this week, and he still came second, third. Whereas Wyndham, I think he's trying to actually win every event he attends.
Makes sense. All right. Speaking of winners, let's go to outright winners. I'll let you go first. I think you and I kind of came across the same long shot. Who do you have?
Yeah, my long shot, Gary Woodland at 45-1. One of the longest players in this field. His fourth last week was very good, and that's just what Woodland does. He bombs it down there and attacks with his irons. If he gets to do that again this week, there is no reason why he doesn't at least go top 10 again here. We are talking about the worst around the green player in the field, though, so hopefully that doesn't come into play for him. I just think you're ticking 2 huge boxes with the distance and approach parts of his game, and this price makes no sense based on last week.
He's my yeah. I also just want I want to be rooting for Gary Woodland this
100%,
week.
Yeah.
like it just feels like the world is going to owe you some good karma if you're rooting for Gary Woodland. He was my head. Now, if you want some bad karma, you're going to root for the guy that I am picking to win, and that is Wyndham Clark. I don't really understand 16-1 on DraftKings. This is kind of a number thing. Why is Cameron Young priced like less than him? Why is Ludwig priced less than him? Like, if you want a guy who can go toe to toe with Rory and Scottie, it's this guy who is a complete narcissist that doesn't get bothered mentally, which is a good thing, by the way, when you're out on the golf course. Like you said, he tries to win every single event that he's in. This guy has finished 5th and 1st the last 2 weeks in the playoffs. So not great course. Well, he finished 8th and 3rd. He didn't play here last year, but 8th and 3rd the previous 2 years here. But again, that 3rd was before the renovation. So he's peaking at the perfect time, man. And when this guy goes on a hot streak, he is one of the best on tour. So 16-1, I don't understand why he's 16-1 and Ludwig's like 13-1. That makes no sense to me. So, I mean, head-to-head matchup, I'm taking Wyndham, but outrights, I'll take him over some of these other guys. Who's your other one?
Yeah, finally, I'm going to be taking him again. I'm going to take Chris Gotter up at 25-1. Also 4th last week, another one who just has all the length, can attack greens and can putt. He just gets to attack every single hole again, and it's just everything you want here. It's now 11 top 20s this year for Gotter up. The putter is still a concern, but right now it's there, and as long as it is, you have to have him on the list. It felt like he held a little bit back last week in preparation for this week, and this just is a really good assignment again for Gotter up. I think he can win this, and 25-1, yeah, I think that's playable.
You know what's nice about Goddard we've learned this year? There's a very clear-cut course that he can play good on and bad on. If it's a bomber's paradise, you bet on him. If it's kind of a slow and take some off the drive and accuracy, that is not his course. You could just go down the list. It's pretty funny about that. So, all right, myself and Jan probably will have at least one play up for Tour Championship. That is over at wt.buzz/AL. But it's college football season, guys. We're transitioning from golf all the way into college football and NFL. We're having a good NFL preseason, 4-2-2 so far. And we have our very first college football play that is up. We ended last year with 5 straight winners. I think we can say that. I think we can count that towards our. We're going for 6 straight college football
we're on
winners.
A streak, boys.
We're totally.
No one's even touched a ball, and we're on a streak, boys.
Yes. So, in all seriousness, though, the fall is where we shine. NFL props, college football, NBA, and NHL are right around the corner. We're running great specials. We have our end of the year special that's knocked all the way down to $7.99. It gets you all of our plays, every single sport, every single percentage. Jan is on a tear in cricket. And we're just having a really, really good summer. Really proud of the work that we're doing. If you want something shorter, only got about 6 days less to lock in the buy 3 days, get 3 free. I also didn't realize you can stack these up. You can buy those buy 3 days, get 3 free, and use them later on in the year. So you only got about 6 days left, because August 31st, that comes down. So take advantage of those specials, guys. We run them all summer long. It's a great way to save money and get multiple picks across multiple sports. All right, DraftKings Darlings. I mentioned him. Alex Smalley, got to go with him at 6,300. 16th, 24th, 7th the last 3 weeks. This guy's 8th in total strokes gained the last 30 days in the field. I just want guys that are playing really well at the moment. Adam Scott at 6,500 feels too low for a veteran.
Yeah,
you know, 12th and 16th the last 2 weeks. He's 10th in the field in total strokes gained. Guarantee nobody. That stunned me. He didn't play here last year, but he played in 2024 and he finished 5th. So I think that's a good guy. And then again, I just want good juju on my side. I want Gary Woodland. I want him in my lineup, but he's also only 6,600. I don't understand why he's that low on the list, but you went over it. 7th in the field in total strokes gained last 30 days. Just fantastic off the tee. And as always, my lineup is on the golf article that is free up at wagertalk.com. Just go to wagertalk.com, click on news, and you'll see all the articles. We've got UFC article that is up. We've got auto racing articles that are up, contender series, and we got bare knuckle fighting championship this weekend as well. A lot of good stuff. So, all right, Jan, good luck to us. All of our plays are at wt.buzz/AL, and I really appreciate all of you watching all year long. Been a fantastic year. Leave us a comment. Tell us who you like to win the Tour Championship. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The day we're recording this is our 12-year anniversary at WagerTalk. So really, really big congratulations and a special thank you to everyone that watched. We could not do this without you. Much appreciated. Fantastic golf year. Appreciate you guys. Good luck on your bets. We'll see everyone later. Take care.